What's good, Atlanta? Thank you for joining us for a very special episode of What's Good, Atlanta, live from the PRX Podcast Creators Summit on Wednesday, June 26th. A special Hump Day episode. Now, as usual, we're breaking news and breaking down the stories that really matter. I'm Mark Kendall.
And I'm David Perdue. Tonight, we've been talking about the importance of place in comedy and podcasting. We're happy to be here talking about Atlanta as we all try to find a little something that's good in the world.
That's right. So, David, to start, what's a little something that's good with you this week?
Just yesterday, I went to the Punchline Comedy Club and saw Lace Larrabee graduation class.
Oh, fantastic.
So it was very fun to watch comedians go for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, and have that feeling of like, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Watch other people have it, because I didn't know what I looked like when I did it. So it was fun to watch other people squirm.
Yeah.
But they did great.
That's great.
Lace has a great class. How about you?
Being at PRX right now, that's been great. Also, Center for Civic Innovation, they've been having these like meetup gather-ups where like for breakfast or in the evening, they'll have people on panels to talk about things going on in the city. And it's been really, really great. So
Very nice. Very nice.
yeah. Okay, so let's get into headlines you might have missed. Here's what's good with the news this week. All right, so details have emerged on Atlanta's bid to become the next host of the Sundance Film Festival, as the event considers moving from its home location of Park City, Utah. Now, components of that proposal include a $2 million donation, in-kind support, and temperatures across Metro Atlanta that make it feel like you are literally dancing on the sun.
Sheesh. As we all know, it's hot outside.
It's real hot.
It is. Today hit a
Wait, what was I supposed to say? I'm sorry.
And it's hot too.
Let me try that again.
Do it again. All right, we ready?
Yeah.
As we all know, it's hot outside.
And it's hot too. There we go.
You're perfect. Today hit a record-setting high of 100 degrees as we continue this heat wave. And we mentioned this before. Yes, climate change and global warming are very serious. But the biggest story here continues to be the media's temptation to use the phrase Hotlanta.
That's right, y'all. Okay, so let's talk about this for a moment, all right? This is a developing story that we've covered here on What's Good Atlanta. Now, if you're listening, please recycle.
Absolutely.
Ride a bike.
Yes.
But also, most importantly, perhaps, do whatever you can to stop the rise in global Hotlanta references. Yeah.
Cue the Sarah McLachlan music. Moving to sports. Love that. The Hawks have the first overall pick in tonight's NBA draft, meaning we are 1 hour away from knowing what this team will look like next year, which means I am 1 hour and 1 minute away from knowing what I will look like next year. I'm real nervous as a Hawks fan, very nervous, because what I know, I've made my peace with the fact that whoever we pick, the very next player pick will be a Hall of Famer.
Well,
I'm okay with that now. I'm like, maybe our guy will be a good guy, but that guy will be one of the greatest players of all time.
but there's a way that it can all work out. We draft Bronny James number 1.
Okay.
LeBron James comes here. Anthony Davis is like, you know what? I like Atlanta. I'll come here.
Ooh.
And then Anthony Edwards is like, you know what? I need to go back home. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
It's like the NBA have the Woj bombs?
Yeah.
It's a Mark bomb. Yeah. It's a Mark bomb on sports. I love that.
So in a related story, local rapper 2 Chainz announced a partnership with Smoothie King at State Farm Arena, launching at tonight's NBA draft watch party. So it sounds like now with Smoothie King, Crystal, Esco, and Pamper Nail Studio, 2 Chainz has 4 chains.
4 chains. Sticking with music, CeeLo Green was honored this week by DeKalb County as a part of the African American Music Appreciation Month. And I gotta say, CeeLo, for all his oddness, is really one of the most underrated rappers in hip hop. Yeah, but maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe you're crazy.
Yeah, maybe we're crazy.
Probably.
Come on.
Now, in other national news coming out of Atlanta, the first presidential debate will be hosted by CNN in Midtown. Both the current and former presidents will be in town. Now, a lot of people are talking about the stakes of this election and Georgia's role in deciding the outcome. But David, all I can think about is the traffic.
As someone who has to be out tomorrow, that is all I can think about. I think tomorrow will spawn the final we'll get to as a society where we just admit we do need flying cars. We gotta get out of this traffic. We gotta do it in the air.
Flying cars would be great.
They are necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's get into it. After the break, we'll be right back with our top story of the week. Moving to our top story. As Mark mentioned, the first presidential debate is in Atlanta this week.
That's right. With November's election rapidly approaching, folks everywhere are starting to talk about Georgia's important role as a swing state.
Swang state.
My bad. A swing state. So it's only fitting that we'd host the first face-off between President Biden and former President Trump.
Also, Face Off. What a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was that was one of the movie posters. There was a movie poster. I think it was like, I forget what two streets it was, but somewhere on Piedmont, there was a poster for the movie Face Off when the movie came out. And I don't know if y'all had these movie posters, but they stayed up for like 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then would come down. But anyway, more importantly though, Nick Cage is in the movie. Nick Cage, one of the greatest actors of all time.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
He doesn't get his credit.
Yeah. I think the thing, I heard he's retiring. I don't know if that's true or not. I hope he never
can't
does.
retire.
We need him.
Yeah. No, who's he filing that paperwork to? Just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, anyway, with the debate this week, Mark, it's got me thinking, if we were to moderate the debate with Atlanta's interest in mind, what will we ask these two candidates?
You know what? Sounds like it's time for a
top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I love that. Okay. Okay. For this top 5.
Top 5.
Ooh, all right. I'm getting in there. Thank you. Let's say What's Good Atlanta was hosting the debate instead of CNN. What are the 5 things we'd ask the presidential candidates?
Well, aside from like the big important questions, if we were going to kind of start with some smaller, more specific Atlanta questions, the first thing I would ask is I try to get like a litmus test for where they're at.
Okay.
So I'd ask like, if you thinking about Outkast, right? If you would describe yourself, would you describe yourself as more of a Big Boy or an Andre 3000, and why?
Okay. I would say there's no wrong answer, but there is a wrong response. There's a wrong response.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about yourself?
Very simple. I can know everything I need to know about a person. I would ask drums or flats. I need to know drums or flats, and why? Why? Why about that? What about you?
Going back to the movie we were discussing earlier, again, another personality question, Nick Cage or John Travolta?
Ooh.
The answer is Nick Cage.
The answer is Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an area where John Travolta could be the right answer.
Oh, for sure. Nothing against John Travolta.
Nothing against.
It's just the answer is Nick Cage.
Okay. All right. This one I think will definitely help me figure out who's who. And I would say, have you ever sincerely used the word Hotlantan? If you ever sincerely, you will not get my vote.
Yeah. I would ask, can I hold $20?
That is also a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
And that's top 5.
Top 5.
That's a debate I would watch.
Same. Yeah. Before we wrap this episode, we know that the presence of presidents can drive drivers out of their minds. Let's check in on traffic with Curtis.
Honks and beeps in the roads and streets, it's traffic with Curtis.
Curtis, how's it going?
Oh, I'm just chilling.
Okay, I figured it'd be a busy week for you with the presidential debates in town.
Yeah, and the Copa America match at Mercedes-Benz Stadium at the same time.
Right.
And orientation for the incoming freshmen at Georgia Tech at the same time.
Right.
And happy hour at Trader Vic's downtown at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And Rush Hour 4 filming in Atlanta at the same time. That's not real. It's just wishful thinking.
Oh, I got my hopes up, Curtis.
There's traffic, David. So much traffic. People know there's traffic. Nobody's asking me anything. Best day of my career.
That's great, Curtis. Well, if anyone is...
Everyone is.
Okay. Oh, so for everyone that's sitting in traffic, any tips on positive ways to pass the time?
Oh, that's the only way to do it. You got to be positive to pass the time, because that's the only thing that's happening.
Oh.
It's time passing, because we're all sitting still. The only thing that's moving is time. We ain't moving anywhere. I recommend taking this time to reflect. You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean to my community? What's my community mean to me? What's life? What is it to live? Anyway, it's moving a little bit.
So profound, Curtis. Might I add?
Yeah.
Turn the air conditioner on.
Good idea. I knew there was a reason why I was sweating. Goodness.
This has been your traffic report with Curtis.
Honks and beeps in the roads and streets, it's traffic with Curtis.
Before we sign off, Mark, I got to ask the question, what's some good that you're taking into the weekend?
David, some good that I'm taking into the weekend, I'll be real. It's your upcoming show, Comedy and Conversation.
Oh, man.
That I'm going to go see Thursday, June 27th.
Atlanta History Center.
Yeah,
the Midtown campus. Yeah.
What about yourself? What's something good that you're taking with you?
I'm be honest, Mark, I've been doing a lot of stuff today and yesterday and the day before that, so I'm taking in rest. I'm going to rest. I'm not going to do anything. Nobody call me Friday.
That's great. Yeah. Awesome. I love that. Okay, so y'all don't forget, you can hit the What's Good Atlanta tip line at podcast@wabe.org. Let us know what's good in Atlanta, be it breaking news or maybe just a bright spot from your drive down Joseph P. Lowry Boulevard.
What's Good Atlanta is produced by us in collaboration with Cool Productions and WABE. Our executive producer is Scotty Crow with additional production by Matt Owen. Special thanks to Kevin Rinker for production on this live episode.
And a shout out to PRX and the Podcast Creators Summit, as well as Plywood Place for hosting us. Find more at wabe.org/What's Good Atlanta. See y'all.
WABE.